You are now watching Zach Lesage PTCG. Let's get it! Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? Welcome back to Zach Lesage PTCG. It's crazy. I'll let you guys know, this is the third time I've recorded this video, so I'm crossing my fingers that this one comes out correct. The first time my mic got unplugged, the second time I plugged my mic back in, it set it to default, and here's the third time me setting it to my Yeti Blue or Yeti stand microphone. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better. So I've probably wasted a couple hours recording this one, but that being said, I'm so excited to showcase some new cards for all of you. These cards came out late last night. I was going to make a video then, got too carried away playing Fortnite with my homeboys, and then I decided to sleep on it because Mr. Celio's network came out with a video. If you haven't already, check out his video, maybe compare it to mine, let me know how it goes. But I'm excited to bring some of these cards, kind of showcase, bring them into a competitive light, and really explain to you why I'm so excited about this set coming out. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button right now, because we've been putting in some awesome content into this channel. If you've been supporting all along, thank you so much. Anyways, let's check out these cards and see exactly what we got. Starting in hot, we got the newest card that I've seen, Beedrill. Now, Beedrill seems pretty cool because it has its persistent sting attack. So it reads, for a single grass energy, if your opponent's active Pokemon has any special energy attached to it, it is now knocked out. For me, I think that this seems like an absolute awesome card because it reminds me of like a Zamazenta V, just for Pokemon with special energies. Now, you're not necessarily blocking their attacks, but you are specifically targeting Pokemon. Think about Pokemon that are worth a lot of prize cards that have special energies, things like Pikachu and Zekrom GX, things like Colossal VMAX with the Speed Lightning and the Stone Fighting energy, respectively. There's a lot of special energies coming out, even with the new Rapid Strike energy, even with the new Single Strike energy, that I think Persistent Sting might allow you to draw a lot of prize cards. You might be able to summon this Pokemon in play with the Mustard Stance for the Single Strike Pokemon, and you got Jet Spear. Jet Spear is not a terrible attack, but I don't necessarily think it's going to be coming in too clutch unless your opponent's active Pokemon is weak to Grass Pokemon. Overall, it being a Stage 2 can be a little bit rough, but I do think that this card is overly exciting to kind of see play, and I think there's going to be some players that can build some decks with it. Moving on, we got the Blaziken VMAX. It's a card that I'm instantly excited about. The reason why I'm excited about this card is because of Max Blaze. I'm typically a fire type loving Pokemon because of their welder, a lot of big attacks. This one seems to set up a little bit more. It does have that Rapid Strike stamp where Max Blaze comes in kind of clutch. It does colorless, which means you can power it up with a Rapid Strike energy for a single attachment. You can attach an energy to 2 of your Rapid Strike Pokemon on your bench. It doesn't say basic energy. It could be a translation error. I'm not sure. Again, shout out to PokeBeach. All their translators are coming out with these amazing. I do check out their site regularly. Just being able to get those bench Pokemon powered up with non-basic energies can be huge. Clutch is a clutch attack as well. As an Eternatus VMAX player, my Eviltal can do a decent bit of work in some matchups. I think Clutch, especially if your opponent doesn't have access to a Switch or an Escape Rope, can do a lot of cool things. Now, this Pokemon does have a decent bit of HP. It does have the Rapid Strike stamp. It is weak to water. These are all things that, we got to see exactly how the format plays out. Maybe water types are going to become huge in a couple months. Maybe not. Maybe Max Blaze is too low of a damage output. But overall, I think this card seems competitively viable. At the very least, it's not necessarily just an attack that does a set amount of damage for too much energies. This card has a little bit of spice to it, and I can see it seeing success at some Pokemon tournaments. So I'm super excited for the Blaziken VMAX. I think it seems pretty cool there. Moving on, we got a card that's a spiritual reprint, or at least I think it's a spiritual reprint. We have the Inteleon card from the Matchless Fighters. Now, Inteleon, evolving from Drizzle, I think Drizzle, there's a few Sobbles. The new Sobble from this set seems that they could kind of set you up pretty well. The Drizzle that we have from Sword and Shield seems pretty good. We got other Inteleons that seem pretty good. This one is a reprint of Decidueye GX. And that one is a card that I've brought to a Day 2 Worlds finish in 2017. I was testing with Michael Pramawat, Jay Lesage, Tanner Hurley. Tanner Hurley brought it to a top 8 of Worlds. Then after Lost Thunder being released, Zoro Decidueye doing extra damage seems great. I don't know if 2 damage counters is going to live up to the power creep of the game or not, but having an ability like this seems very strong, especially since it's a Rapid Strike Pokemon. You could put a Rapid Strike energy, so you could attack for Waterfall. So either using Quick Shooter as a damage modifier, or using it as a spread element. I'm not sure if you want to just like use this as a way with, or Beetle VMAX, so you could spread some more damage. I know that Matty Tate from Chill TCG, one of my really great friends, would love that idea. Probably would feature on his channel too. He's an Orbeetle fanatic. I'm not really sure where this kind of sees play or not. I really don't know. It is a Stage 2 Pokemon, so will this concept that's been spiritually reprinted see success in what I assume is our August set? I'm not entirely sure about that. We gotta check that out a little bit more once the set gets a little bit more closer to it and we know exactly what the release date is of most of these cards. But I think it's cool. I think getting something out like this where you could maybe use it as a damage modifier. There's not a lot of damage modifiers in the game right now, and I think that this could be incredibly good for our game. As I don't know, I just think it's cool. Cards like this are cool. It's not necessarily the most boring card or anything like that. I think that Inteleon has a little bit of spice. It has ways that you can, that it's just, we don't have a card like this in the game right now. And the card that we've seen, Decidueye GX, that's been rotated, has seen a lot of success. So I'm super excited about it. Lots of cool cards coming out. Another really interesting card that we have is Galarian Slowking VMAX. Now, this card only has 1 attack, 10 damage, kind of terrible for 2 energies, but you make them poison and do 12 damage counters on that Pokemon in between turns during Pokemon Checkup. I think that a card like this could work with Toxicroak from Sword and Shield to add some extra damage in between turns. I think it could work with something like Galarian Zigzagoon and Scoop of Net, just so you're knocking your opponent's Pokemon in between turns. Similar cards are like Muck Alolan Muck GX, that has an attack like this that uses as a GX attack. This attack you could use over and over again. I think the typing's interesting for sure. I don't know, I think there's a lot of cool things going on with this card in its minimal max toxin attack. The Galarian Slowking that you need to evolve from allows you to kind of get set up a little bit more, so I like having built-in consistency crutches in the cards that I am playing with. So that's pretty exciting if you ask me. So I'm excited for a card like this to come out, and I mean, I've never seen a card like, I've never seen this Pokemon before. I never got to this point in the VGC DLC. As much as I have played Sword and Shield a few times, seeing this card printed for the first time, a lot of the cards that I see, or a lot of new Pokemon I see, are really printed, and I see them for the first time as we get these Japanese leaks. So, I mean, I'm pretty excited as a Pokemon fan that this card looks definitely different than what a normal Slowking looks for me. Echoing Horn, another one of these spiritual reprints. You might notice that as a trend. Pokemon quite often reprints a lot of their cards over and over again. You can put a basic Pokemon from your opponent's discard pile on their bench. This card kind of gives me captivating Pokepuff vibes. There's another card, I quite honestly can't remember the name at this time. Maybe let me know what the other card is in the comments below that this card is, but it's Rapid Strike searchable. I like that you could change your deck building engine with Octillery, being able to search out these one-of cards, which seems pretty cool if you ask me. And grabbing something, I know a lot of people on Twitter are like, yo, this probably makes ADP too broken with Boss's Orders. You can just bring back the same Dedenne Crobat. It's probably going to get rotated out by the time that the set comes out in August, if not shortly after, so it's not going to be too big of an issue there. But basically, I think just bringing your opponent's Pokemon back, maybe clogging up their bench, being able to be searchable. Cards like this seem good, and maybe you'll play it with another Pokemon like Zacian V with Boss's Orders and the new Rusted Sword. I think that this card could be quite great in either a control deck, in an aggressive deck, and it is searchable, so in a rapid strike deck. A lot of cool things going on, and I think Echoing Horn's going to be a lot of viable strategies into our game. Moving on, we do have Karen's Conviction. I don't know what Karen did to get convicted, but no, that's just a stupid pun. It is a single strike card, so it does get the whole army of single strike Pokemon and stuff like that, that kind of follow around it. During this turn, your single strike Pokemon's attack do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon for each prize card your opponent has already taken. I think that's actually a pretty strong attack, or a strong kind of ability to bring to the game, because you can do a lot of extra damage. I remember after talking to Wolfie VGC on my Yellhorn podcast with Matty Tate of Chill TCG, we were discussing how VGC, you can kind of tailor your team to however you want it, depending on how the metagame kind of comes up. We don't really have that in TCG. We have damage modifiers. Maybe you want to add an Inteleon to your deck that we already featured in this video. Karen's Conviction for a single strike deck can really allow you to hit those numbers, allowing you to properly plan against certain matchups. I think that's kind of hot. So I'm pretty excited about Karen's Conviction coming out. There is another card in this set that will work particularly well with it, or at least I believe it will work particularly well. So we'll wait on that. I don't want to spoil out too much. There are some spoilers here. But this card's going to be great, especially if you are playing single strike Pokemon. Being able to get that one OHKO kind of comeback potential. That's not reset stamp. It's not Marnie. This is just like, you got ahead, I'm going to knock you out. Or I'm going to get that huge amount of damage to put myself back into the game. I think that having a comeback mechanic like this is quite necessary for the game. And I'm happy that it's only for single strike Pokemon, not necessarily all Pokemon, which will make deck building a little bit more unique as we go forward. Moving on, we do have Brawly. I know I did not put the name here. You can see that I've had some technical difficulties in this video. Please, please deal with it here. I mean, at least we got the card. At least we got the translation. Sorry for not having the Brawly and the pretty text that I put there. So it is a Rapid Strike supporter. That means it is searchable from Octillery from Battle Styles. You can search your deck for 3 Rapid Strike basic Pokemon, put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck afterwards. You've seen other cards like this, Professor's Oak, Lynette's Net Reese, like things like that. There's a lot of cards that have been just basically printed throughout the years that search for a lot of basic Pokemon. Searching for 3 Rapid Strike Pokemon does not seem like a bad deal at all. I'm actually pretty excited to have something like this in format because it does give you deck building options. Now, I'm not entirely sure which ones you'd want to search out or if you even want to play this card, but as more and more Rapid Strike Pokemon get released, and the fact that it is searchable seems pretty good. Now, again, I'm going to apologize. This card is called Welcoming Lantern. I was thinking of Billowing Fan, so I put Billowing Lantern, but we don't know what it's going to be called when it gets released in English, so it probably doesn't matter. It only matters what the card does. This is a single strike card, again, coming with the whole onslaught of single strike cards being released in Battle Styles and Matchless Fighter. It's one of those things that could be great. Maybe you'll have a way to search it out like the Octillery does for a Rapid Strike. Choosing a single strike supporter card from your discard pile and putting it into your hand. This is single strike VS Seeker. And you could get back that Karen's Conviction. I think the other card that we have right now from Battle Styles is Bruno that you can get back, which is very similar to a Cynthia's that we've had in the past. So being able to have different supporters, and as more and more supporters get released under the single strike stamp, I think it could be quite powerful. So I'm excited to have this, whether you're playing in a single strike deck or not. You could play it in a non-single strike deck to get back the Karen's Conviction or whatever other supporters you have. Being able to have kind of an alternative engine different than the 4 Marnie, 4 Research, 4 Boss could definitely be interesting. I mean, I guess you probably wouldn't play Karen Conviction without a single strike Pokemon, but still, Welcoming Lantern is definitely a welcomed addition, pun intended, into our game. We do have a card here that I'm not entirely sure where I rank it, and that's going to be the Rillaboom VMAX. I apologize for the blurriness of the scan that we have here. I can only do with what I can do when I'm pulling it off of websites that just have these pictures from like magazines and stuff like that. Rillaboom VMAX, a Rapid Strike card. Again, a lot of these cards are just going to be Rapid Strike or Single Strike, but I do like to mention it because we're not necessarily used to it. We haven't even have a Single Strike or Rapid Strike card released yet in English, as far as I'm concerned. Grass, colorless, 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 180, 40 and 40. That equals up to 260 damage for 4 energies. I mean, I don't think it's a bad attack. I think that it's rapid. The fact that it has Rapid Strike things going for it makes it kind of fine, but it doesn't necessarily seem like super powerful to me. So I'm gonna probably skip on this card, but it's exciting enough to like be like, this card looks cool. Maybe you're a Rillaboom fan. Let me know what you think about this card in the comments below. Maybe there's something that I'm missing, but it just doesn't necessarily hit the nail for me. Same thing with the Cinderace VMAX, doing Gmax Fireball, 230 for 4. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. Maybe with Single Strike Energy, this could do enough damage to knock something out. I think there's probably better ways to get knockouts or adding damage into play, but that just could be me being a blind right now and not necessarily seeing the bigger picture. The Cinderace is cool because it's sitting on that gigantic fireball. I've never seen that in an art before, so it's kind of weird. It almost looks like it's the Pokemon. I don't know if that's how it looks like in the VGC or not, but I mean, I think this could be okay. 250 incanting attack next turn seems like mediocre. But in terms of fire support, maybe we'll get some more fire support or support for single strike that will make this card a little bit better when it's released. Now, what I'm more excited about are the last 3 cards here, and these are the Galarian Birds. Yes, I say Burbs, and I'm almost a 30-year-old man. We've got Galarian Articuno V. I think the ability Psychic Construct is absolutely broken. Discarding cards quite often leads to compelling strategies. You might be like, discarding cards sucks. I put all these good cards in my deck. A lot of really good cards you want to discard from your hand. In a particular case, maybe Mad Party, you might want to use Psychic Construct to discard Mad Party Pokemon, draw cards. Even in Expanded, this is very similar to Zoroark GX's trade. You go execute, pitch 2, draw 1, basically drawing a card for free every single turn. That could be interesting. Maybe there's other cards, like I know that Tapu Koko Prism Star, which may or may not be in the format by the time Articuno V is released. You might want to discard some lightning energies. So discarding cards isn't bad at all, and I think drawing a card is super cool. I think Psychic Beam is kind of a little bit of a weak attack. I don't think it's going to see too much play, but I do think that it's cool to just have a resistance to fighting type, especially as Urshifu comes out. I mean, it looks super cool. This is my first time really looking at these cards, looking at these new Pokemon. Again, I haven't got to this point in the DLC, so I'm spoiling it a little bit for myself, but these cards look awesome, and the fact that it goes from its normal water type to psychic type seems absolutely amazing. Now, the other 2 Galarian Birds that we have left, I think are slightly better than this Articuno V, and this Articuno V seems quite strong. I've seen a lot of talk on Twitter about what these cards can do, and for due reason. I think they're absolutely fantastic. So, we're going to start off with Zapdos V. Zapdos V is changing its type from lightning to fighting, and this bird looks angry. Look at those talons. It's going to get you. Ability, Fighting Instinct for each Pokemon V your opponent has in play. This attack costs 1 colorless less. So Thunderclap Kick, if your opponent has 3 Pokemon V in play, you can use Thunderclap Kick for a single fighting energy, doing 170 damage, and you can discard a special energy before doing damage, which I think is just adding to it. 170 damage for 1 or 2 energies seems absolutely amazing, especially once you factor in Fighting Instinct. And the fact that it's a fighting type Pokemon and can just absolutely obliterate an Eternatus VMAX, I think that this card seems absolutely wonderful, and I'm super excited. Maybe you want to play this into a deck that plays an Aurora Energy as a tech card. Maybe you want to play it just as a 1 of tech in your fighting type deck. I think the way that cards like this present themselves into the game really seem to stand out from the rest of the pack. And I mean, I think that it has a cool weakness to Psychic. I don't think Psychic's necessarily the most popular type at this time. So overall, I'm pretty excited about the Zapdos V being released. I have no problems at all. And if anything, I'm just more excited. Now, will this card be the Eternatus killer? I'm not sure if this is the type of card to stop Eternatus VMAX. Maybe Eternatus VMAX can just play around Fighting Instinct by playing less Pokemon V and VMAX down. Maybe Big Charm is a good way to get around it instead of it doing 340. So, I mean, we'll have to see. I think Zapdos V seems like an incredible amount of damage, but we'll move on to Moltres V, the Galarian Moltres V. Again, switching from a fire type of Pokemon to a dark type Pokemon seems absolutely bonkers to me. I like the ability Bolstered Wings. You could grab a dark energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. You don't need to be in the active spot. You don't need to be in the bench spot. It's a great way to accelerate energy to itself. Maybe you want to use it like a Naganadel to retreat for free. I remember when I was Blacephalon GX player, when that was in the format, I would quite often use Naganadel as a free retreat Pokemon. I think that something like Bolstered Wings being able to be played with Weavile GX, Energy Switch, could be great in a lot of dark type decks, or it could be great in an Eternatus VMAX decks. I think that could be really great to kind of stop the pressure from Crushing Hammer. I think Aura Burns a great attack, doing 190 for 3, very similar to Darkrai GX, probably better than Darkrai GX. That being said, this card's probably going to work with the Greninja Zoroark GX and the Darkrai EX in the expanded formats to just provide more energy in play. So, I mean, I think Moltres V has a lot of cool things. The grass type weakness is super cool. Something that was once weak to water type is now weak to grass. Grass is not really super popular. So I'm just super excited to have this card being printed, and all the Galarian Burbs seem to be quite good at this time. Yo, and that's where we end it off with today, everyone. I mean, hopefully you enjoyed seeing those cards. A lot of those cards that got me excited. Sorry that my voice is getting a little bit raspy. Gotta stay hydrated with that Starbucks water here. I mean, it is my third time recording this video. I quite often, I was gonna be like, you wanna know what, I'm gonna skip the video today. I'm just gonna not worry about it. But I do wanna like let everyone know how excited I am for Pokemon. I do love playing the game, especially during a pandemic on a Friday. Looking forward to these new cards definitely gives me, it gets me excited for the future of what's happening. So I'm super excited to showcase all these things. Let me know. I haven't really made a video like this before. So just trying to experiment with some of the content. If you liked it, let me know. If you didn't, also let me know. I take constructive criticism wherever possible, and I really appreciate all of it. So if there's any cards that you think that I missed a combination to, or anything that you want to bring a discussion open, try to get to your comments as soon as possible. So put that in there. Beyond that, I got a bunch of content to create. After filming this 3 times, you can imagine that I'm a little bit behind on my day. Gotta get ready for the GG Tour Regionals tomorrow. If anyone's playing in that, best of luck. Or enjoy the rest of your weekends. I mean, stay safe, everyone. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, and I just hope that everyone's having a great day, wherever it is, whatever time zone it is, whatever. I just hope that y'all are doing good. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button. Appreciate all the support from all of you. That being said, I do have to get going. Peace out. Have yourself a wonderful one, and we'll see y'all real soon. Bye. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. If you haven't already, it'd mean the world to me if you could subscribe to help support me as a content creator. Thanks again, and have yourself a great one.